Why is your Mustang still in violation? Cheryl from the HOA screams at me across the driveway, holding up this battered old brass key like she's some kind of queen on a crusade. Swear, she waves it around like she expects lightning to strike if anyone questions her power. She tells me, dead serious, this key can open every lock in the neighborhood, even my Mustang, because of some emergency access protocol that only she seems to remember. And when that key didn't budge my Mustang's door, she called the cops. I mean, what would you do if you were me? Especially when your little brother just so happens to be the county sheriff. Yeah, suddenly, my entire Saturday turned into a circus, and Cheryl was the ringmaster, inventing rules as fast as she could shout them. You ever been there? Tell me I'm not the only one. So here's how it started. Picture me, washing my midnight blue Mustang in the driveway, minding my business, thinking about something my brother Ben always says, know your rights, but try to handle things yourself first. He's been the county sheriff long enough to have a story for every crazy neighbor dispute, but even he's never prepped me for someone like Cheryl. Honestly, after my divorce forced me to move here 6 months ago, the last thing I wanted was another fight. I wanted to prove I could handle myself, you know? No running to family. Just me and the Mustang against the world, or, at least, against Sunset Grove's self-appointed queen. She walks up, that old brass key swinging, badge bouncing on her chest, and I just knew she was going to make my day interesting. Time for your mandatory vehicle compliance inspection, Ethan, she declares, with the drama of someone reading the Declaration of Independence aloud at a fireworks show. She says her master key was installed by the original developer, that every lock was meant for her special emergencies, and, get this, she truly believes it. Eyes wild, tone righteous, like she's never met a rule she didn't write herself. I set down my cloth, try to keep calm like Ben taught me. Cheryl, mind showing me where in the bylaws it says you get to inspect my car? I'd read those bylaws cover to cover after the divorce. There's nothing like a broken marriage to make you suspicious of paperwork, believe me. She jams that key at my Mustang's door, and, God help me, the scratching sound it made still haunts my dreams. She keeps twisting, keeps scratching, and I can feel the rage boiling in my chest, but I just step closer. Ma'am, you're damaging my property, and you have no authority to touch my car. The bylaws don't cover private vehicles. That's not how the Fourth Amendment works. What you're doing, that's called breaking and entering. I kept my voice steady, just like Ben would, but inside, I was burning. And now we've got an audience. Catherine across the street, watering her garden a little slower than usual, and Mrs. Patterson sipping her coffee, pretending not to watch, but definitely watching. Cheryl's face tightens. She's losing her cool because the whole neighborhood's tuned in for her show. She starts accusing me of tampering with locks, says no one modifies vehicle security without telling her, claims I must be hiding something. I see it now. She really believes she's got the right to poke around anyone's life, and she's not letting go of that fantasy. So I start recording. Ben always says, if things get weird, get it on video. So I do. I say, Cheryl, this is attempted break-in. You have no authority. She ignores me, just keeps grinding that key while the neighbors start to gather. Cheryl says this master key was installed by her family's company, Morrison Development, 15 years ago. It hits me, Morrison. Morrison, of course. She's not just power-hungry. She's clinging to some legacy, as if being the ex-wife of the developer gives her special rights. I ask if she's related, but she's already on the phone, dialing 911, inventing a story about me tampering with my own locks and threatening her with my phone. I have to hand it to her. The lies roll off her tongue like she's been rehearsing. She makes me sound like a danger to the entire community, turning my recording into a threat and my refusal into obstruction. It's almost impressive. Almost. Now, there's a crowd. Margaret, the oldest resident, shakes her head. She's seen it all in her 20 years here. Catherine crosses the street, hose still running, and asks, everything all right? I tell her Cheryl's trying to open my car with a master key, claiming it's for community safety. When the key didn't work, she called the cops. Margaret chimes in. Cheryl, there's never been an emergency key system here. I was on the original board. Cheryl ignores her, insisting I've broken some fire safety protocol. And then the cops arrive. 2 squad cars, lights on, uniforms pressed. Officer Martinez is new, nervous. Officer Coleman's seen everything. Martinez comes to me. Coleman goes to Cheryl, who's got her manila folder out, filled with documents that look real if you're not paying attention. Martinez asks, "Mr. Bell, why won't you comply with safety inspections?" Coleman looks at Cheryl's key, then at my Mustang. "Ma'am, this doesn't fit." Cheryl's got a pile of official-looking fire safety codes, all highlighted and stamped, talking about federal compliance, vehicle inspection mandates, even a fire safety priority zone. She's so convincing, even Martinez starts to believe her. But Coleman's got a nose for trouble. When did these regulations take effect? Why is this the first we're hearing about them? Cheryl bluffs, says the board approved everything in a classified emergency session. I pull out my phone, pull up the actual bylaws from the county website. No mention of vehicle inspections, no emergency key. I lay them side by side with Cheryl's evidence. Dates don't match, signatures are off, some board meetings are from the future. I point it out calmly, even crack a joke about time travel, but I'm sweating. Cheryl shrugs. Paperwork takes time. She pivots, says if I don't want a key inspection, I owe a $75 alternative compliance fee. She's not just power tripping, she's running a racket. I tell the officers, demanding payment for a fake inspection is fraud. Now, Coleman's taking pictures of the documents, asking for notary stamps, official signatures. Martinez calls the fire marshal's number, disconnected. Coleman finds inconsistencies in every document. They start to see through her act, but Cheryl just doubles down, tossing out bigger words: Homeland Security, federal compliance, neighboring counties, already doing it. I'm in compliance consulting, so I know these codes don't exist. Never published, never voted on, never real. The crowd is bigger now. Some folks whisper, others look guilty for ever believing her. Darren, a board member, tells me I should just comply to keep the peace. He's worried about property values. Show me a board vote, I say. Show me a state law. He can't, of course. That night, there's a violation notice taped to my garage, $375 due for noncompliance. Cheryl goes door to door with her key and folder, telling everyone I'm endangering emergency services. Margaret visits with a folder of her own, full of original bylaws, showing the whole master key story is pure fiction. Cheryl's authority is built on nothing but her ex-husband's name. Catherine, a retired teacher, brings me photos, Cheryl trying car doors when people aren't home. She's been at this for months, always timing it so no one sees, except Catherine's camera catches everything. We realize it's not just a power trip, it's organized fraud. She targets elderly folks and families who don't know their rights, charges fees when she gets caught. Some people have paid hundreds just to make her go away. Things escalate. Cheryl calls every agency she can think of: fire, code enforcement, environmental safety, even the state attorney general. Suddenly I'm fielding calls about safety violations and homeland security. My work finds out. My clients start asking questions. My brother texts, "What's going on at your house?" I'm getting weird reports. I downplay it, but I'm drowning. I think about giving in, just faking a compliance inspection, paying the fee, making it stop. But Catherine visits, says surrendering means everyone else is next. Margaret organizes neighbors, and together we gather the evidence: photographs, documents, victim statements. We find out Cheryl's been collecting money, threatening to call immigration, child services, you name it. She's clever, but not careful enough. When Cheryl calls for a public meeting, she turns the community center into a courtroom. Projector, flag, the works. She presents photos, fake statistics, the whole 9 yards. I challenge her directly. Margaret and Catherine back me up with original documents and photos. The room is split. Some believe Cheryl, some don't. Then Catherine puts her photos on the projector. Cheryl trying to break into cars while people are away, always with that brass key, always looking nervous. She even has video of Cheryl trying my Mustang's trunk, walking away when a delivery truck pulls up. Cheryl's defense? It's for emergency protocol practice. No one buys it. Darren stands up, admits there's never been a vote, never been a legal opinion, nothing. Janet, Cheryl's own daughter, confirms there were no emergency sessions. I contact the sheriff's office, and that's when things really hit the fan, because Ben, my brother, gets the call. Now the whole community's out there, expecting fireworks. Cheryl announces the sheriff is coming, and this will prove her right. Ben shows up in uniform, full protocol, and, God, I've never been so nervous. He keeps it professional, has another supervisor run the scene, and asked Cheryl to demonstrate her federal emergency access procedure for everyone. She marches up, tries the brass key again, scratches my Mustang some more, sweats under the parking lot lights. Ben asks, "Ma'am, can you explain how this is a federal emergency protocol?" She keeps insisting I've tampered with the lock. Finally, after what feels like forever, Ben says, "This isn't emergency access. This is attempted breaking and entering." He announces, loud enough for everyone, "This is my brother, Ethan. You've all witnessed systematic fraud, impersonation, and attempted vehicle theft." People gasp. Cheryl realizes she's just given the one guy who knows every law and every neighbor the keys to her own downfall. Ben starts reading off the charges: fraud, impersonation of federal authority, filing false police reports, extortion. Margaret and Catherine hand over all the evidence. The board calls an emergency meeting, boots Cheryl out, and sets up new rules. Everything needs legal review now. That master key is revealed as nothing but an old house key she found after her divorce, nothing more. Sunset Grove learns, finally, that authority without accountability is just a power trip waiting for someone brave enough to call it out. Now, we run community meetings with real transparency, and every neighbor knows their rights. Cheryl? She gets the right to remain silent, and honestly, that's the only key she ever really needed. So, tell me, after all that, what do you think? Where's the line between community and control? Ever seen something like this where you live? Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear them. And if you made it this far, hit like, leave a comment, and let's make sure people like Cheryl never get away with this again.